All right, let's
All
get
right.
into this shit. So, welcome everybody to the grand finale of the Kindercast, Kinder podcast, the kindergarten, whatever you want to call it. Whenever you were here, so
Featuring
featuring
Ivan Animated and U-Tunes.
who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that was us? So what is it's not going to be a long one. It's more of just this podcast or this final episode is more of just a chance for us to, I guess, explain what happened to this channel and explain what happened to Kinder as a group. It's more for us to, it's like a half vent therapy session and also a half, well, I feel like we're overdue for an explanation, and it's our opportunity or our choice to kind of finally put out the narrative from our side, if that makes sense. You have anything to add, Darren?
No. That's you said it perfectly well. Yeah. That's basically
Yes,
what we're doing.
sir. But that is basically it. It really is just us explaining what's been going on and why we haven't uploaded in, I believe, 2 years. Right? Yeah, it's been 2 years. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Response. Do you have anything to add, Ivan, to this?
no, so that's really what it is. It's just so that there's I guess if anyone's curious, this is of what happened to this channel and Kinder as a group. Yo, just send them this video because this is quote unquote the official statement from the channel, from people who are more involved in the whole process of everything. And yeah, that's basically it. It's really just us being able to take this opportunity to put more context into the narrative and what happened to the group. And yeah. So let me see. So what happened, right? What happened to this channel? I feel like that's a pretty easy question to answer. Long story short, everybody got busy, right? So well, actually, fuck. Let me run that back. Let's start from the beginning. So if you go back into the archive, if you go back into the first few uploads or few episodes of the podcast, there's 6, I believe, right? There's 6 uploads, and after the 6th upload, podcast died, and there's a few reasons for that. One, as hard to believe as it is, podcasts are expensive, right? Especially if nobody wants to do the work. I know I didn't, so what the solution we came to is, well, let's hire an editor. Well, when you hire someone, of course you need money, right? And things like podcasts are so tedious and long to edit, especially if you want specific things or conversations cut out, that they're not cheap, right? So of those 6 episodes, all of them, more or less, were $100 each. So that's like $600 just put into the channel, just because. And
Wait, who's $600 was that? Ivan?
So
who's who put in all that money into it?
I'm gonna go into that.
Who's the guy?
I'm gonna jump into that right now. So, whose money was that? Well, if you haven't guessed, it was mine. That was my money. That was my $600 that I put into this channel to give my friends a platform to just shoot the shit and talk and say whatever they want, have like a fun little side channel to post whatever they want, right? And mind you, nobody asked me to do this, of course not, and I didn't expect to make any money back, but I did it because, one, I believed in my friends, and I really wanted to, give everybody just something fun to do on the side, and two, it was more just like, what is it? Nobody else could invest in the channel, or I'm sorry, no one else could contribute money, because at the time I was the only one with a reasonable, decent job, right? So I was the only one who could, a big boy job. So I was the only one that could afford to put money towards editors, towards whatever visuals. And it's not like, it wasn't like a huge process, mind you. Like, I'm not trying to overblow this into some kind of huge production effort, because it wasn't. It was just, let's find an editor, let's pay them to edit, and then that's it. But again, it was still money, and it was still like $600 for a channel that's not supposed to be making any of that back, with no sponsors and nothing. Like, that's a lot of money to just throw away. And I guess the reason I'm bringing that up is because it kind of sucks to know that people, or a lot of people, didn't really take that into consideration. They kind of took it for granted. You know what I mean? Like that kind of sucks to have people see the channel or see the podcast in a negative light, and then not even acknowledge the fact that a lot of effort and money and time was kind of put into it for fun, mind you. Like, not even
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it was just for fun, and it was my choice to do it, right? But like, it just sucks to know that people don't really see that. They just see, oh, you know, they were slow to upload. They didn't really, you know, stay on top of the editors. Things weren't really coming out
There was
faster on
so
time.
many things going on in the background, and it's just like, of course, it's easy to judge something, especially when you like wasn't particularly like involved in like the production of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's easy to be like, oh, like, come on, like, where's the next one? Blah 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 blah. Like, there's a lot that goes on here, and it's not like we were trying to make, you know, just any rinky-dink podcast, right, and just slap animators on it and be like, oh, it's a podcast, right? We wanted to like actually talk about stuff. Like, there were points that we wanted to make in it. We didn't want to talk about what we had for lunch, like all that other shit that other podcasts just seem to just love to do. It's just like, bro, it's boring, you know? Like, we want to make something that people can actually take away from, you know? Like, no one, like, what information are they gonna what are they gonna do with that information about what I had last night? It's like, come on, you know?
And I've always felt a way about that for years, and I've never said anything publicly. I've never said anything to anybody else but Darren. But yeah, it really just goes back to like, this was something made for fun, and the fact that I guess other people didn't see it that way, or they wanted more out of something that wasn't like what was intended to be, right? Like this, we just wanted to have like a fun little side thing, and it was supposed to be for the community. That was the goal here. But it does suck when efforts behind the scenes and money put into the channel go unnoticed, and it's more focusing on all the negatives, like it was poorly managed, or you just didn't agree with how it was being run. And I'm not saying those aren't fair points, but I'm saying, like, you know, again, if we go back to like the whole reason for making Kinder or the Kindercast and stuff, it was like none of that was supposed to be. This was supposed to be like I keep saying it, but it was just supposed to be like a side project. It was just supposed to be for fun.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact, if there were issues with production or getting episodes out on time, or getting cast members in, or specific cast members, then it's like, well, like, we did our best, and it's not like everybody had like the most free schedules either, especially for me, because at the time I was working like a crazy amount of hours and still putting, like, I couldn't even make content for my own channel. So managing podcasts or helping set up recording sessions, you know, that was just that was just not in reason. Which, again, I'm not going to say that was 100% on me, because most of the time people would set up their own groups. I'm going to clarify that right now. People would set up their own groups, but there was initially a time, if you go back to the older episodes, right, there was a rotation of people, and that was mostly established so that people could just talk, and everyone would have their own like opportunity to have like an episode, like screen time, you know, or to get to know each other too. Yeah. I thought it was cool that people would just talk to people in the group that they would normally not interact with, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it made for good content as well, because like you're making people like kind of step out their box and kind of like interact in different ways you're not normally used to.
For sure.
I thought that would just make for interesting content overall, you know? So like, yeah.
Especially when you have a group this size of 25 people, like, it's like, you're not going to talk to everybody, and like, all right, you may not want to, but also it's still interesting in terms of just like a content aspect, where it's like, well, like, you guys can like kind of like figure things out on a podcast. And I know not everybody's into that, but also I thought it was like a cool concept because it was different, you know? It was different.
Yeah. Because no matter like what or how many differences, right, that came along with just having so many people in one group, we all have one thing in common, and that was we all were animators, we all were creatives, we all made art, and I feel like that in itself was just enough to make something like as cool as that, because everyone has like their own experiences, everyone has their own stories and stuff, you know. You know, on paper, you know, it's good. It should work out.
Obviously, it didn't.
But, yeah. And I think that's just mainly because okay, there was just a lot of things going on within the Kinder that that was definitely a factor as well.
Oh,
I
okay,
would
wait.
say.
Before we jump into that, though, so
Okay.
just to quickly summarize, so that the reason why the first initial Kinder podcast, or the Classroom, sorry, it's called the Classroom. The reason that stopped and died was because one, money, and two, lack of interest, and three, obviously there were some minor conflicts going on with how it was being run. So that's why, right? And just wanted to put that out there for everybody to finally understand why the Classroom, that first iteration of the Kindercast, died, right? Sorry, what were you saying, Darren?
Oh wait, are we gonna talk about Studio Kinder?
Yeah, that was next. That was after the Classroom. I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah. Feel free. Yeah, we can do that first.
So Studio Kinder, which was the reboots. We only changed the name once, contrary to popular belief. So Studio Kinder, the whole story behind that was, oh my God, did my recording freeze? Okay, it didn't. I would have fucking punched my tablet, bro. Okay, so Studio Kinder, right? I feel like if you've been a long time sub to this channel, you notice that there was a branding and name change. Well, why? Why did that happen? Well, it was one, to kind of like cater to people. Like we said, there was a lot of infighting, a lot of drama inside the Kinder group or whatever, Discord server, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of infighting and drama, which we'll get into later. But part of that brand change was to kind of like distance old Kinder from the new Kinder, right? So like you had the kindergarten, which had a whole bunch of problems, and now you had Studio Kinder, which was something new, had different people in it. It was supposed to be like unrelated to that, you know? And then also too, the kindergarten as a name is just fucking weird for branding.
yeah, it was. Yeah. So yeah, we thought it was a good idea. It was like, let's get a nice refresh. Let's go out there, make content again for the people. So yeah, we rebranded. We made it Studio Kinder. Changed it one time, and this time was a little different. The production value was actually
way
better,
higher.
One, we had like FaceTime. There was actual, like, you can actually see us. You know, there was we was in the studio, the Fred Studio, RIP, RIP Frederated. But when it was there, it was a thing, and we took advantage of it. And it was cool. It was cool. But that one didn't really work out because of the added things, like the things that made the production value higher was a contribution as well. Cause like everything was in person. So like whenever like Kurt Ritchie or Frugal Ass was in the was available, they'll come over. We'll have the we go to the studio and we record. We think of some topics and then we record it. But the thing was actually Kurt at the time lived in Ohio, so he was only in the city for a select amount of time, and there was basically just not enough of us. It's like over like conflicting schedules, because I know Ivan had his own thing going on as well. Like everyone had like their own thing.
Yeah.
And like whenever we tried to find time, there were times actually. I still remember there were times where like we did record some episodes, but for one reason or next, it didn't really pan out. So then we decided not to upload them. Because guess what? We like quality, and we're not gonna just hit record and just kind of talk for an hour and then just put it up. We were just like, no, this needs to be good. And if everyone was not on the same terms with that, it was not going up. So there were episodes that we recorded that we were just like, nah, and we just kind of put it on the back burner. But like, yeah, that's basically what that was. It was really fun too.
It was a good run.
The podcast was like, yeah, it was a good run.
And then later down the line, of course, what is it? There were more issues. Like even if we wanted to, because of Corona, or the pandy.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah, that came in too.
Yeah, there's no way.
That didn't help.
Yeah. So it was just one thing after another, conflicting schedules, finding the time to even just get together. And then now also a global pandemic. It was just like, it's just not happening. It's just not happening anymore,
Yeah.
Basically, everyone who is in that project, everyone involved with Studio Kinder, has now moved on So, which is another thing I want to bring up. Everybody's kind of focusing on their channels, and now there's also this other channel. I'll give a quick plug. You guys don't have to sub if you don't want to. It's called Recreo. I'll put it in the description. Yeah, a lot of hands that were in Studio Kinder are now working in that whole thing. So if that, you have anything else to add, Darren, or did I cover everything?
Yeah. Check out Recreo. Recreo is cool if you want to.
It's pretty much just this.
If you want to.
Yeah, but with more people, basically.
Yeah, and hey, the topics are still on point. You know, I'm still not making any videos about eating cereal or whatever. So that's good. But so yeah, that's why that stopped. But now I think it's time for us to like really talk about like
the group. Why that whole thing?
Yeah, the group
imploded.
itself, not the channel, right? But even though the channel is the factor,
oh boy,
it's the group.
Yeah.
All right, how do we?
Well, long story short. Right, here's a quick tip. So like we mentioned before, there's a lot of drama and infighting. So that was a key factor in why everybody kind of just went their own way. And of course, that's understandable, right? Whatever, things are gonna happen. There's 25 fucking people in this whole thing, whole group chat.
And I would say this, because technically I founded the Kinder, right? I think, and I guess that's my fault, because when I was initially like adding all these members, because I just saw it as like people, like I initially made it. I don't know if you ever heard of Yak, Young Animators
that's
Club.
taking me back.
Hey, that was the root. So basically, when I was in that, I realized that there's a lot of people just like not my age. I think at the time I was like 17, 18, 19 or whatever.
That's even more wild.
And there was a lot of people that were like 13, 14. I'm like, dude, I can't relate to these kids, right? So I'm like, okay, what if I make I make a group comprised of like animators around my age, right? Who are also talented, who also want to had the drive to keep making content and keep being creative online. Mm-hmm. So then that's what led to the Kinder being formed in the first place. So I kind of kept that idea whenever we would add more members. Was like, okay, are they around our age? Do they want to do this YouTube story animation shit? Then come on through. You know, that was kind of like the idea. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, I did kind of like I definitely did kind of like, you know, and it partake was the reason why a lot of things just didn't work out, because there were so many people. What I didn't realize was I just thought we were all artists, so we should be just good and we should just like be on call sometimes while we work and stuff. Obviously, I was not aware that even though this shit is called the kindergarten, people were acting like straight up babies and didn't want to get along and wanted to have their own shit going on. It's like, and then the thing is, and the reason why we're even making this podcast is due to people still acting like babies. People are still like, we are adults here, man. If there's a problem, and I'm saying this because like the Kindercast and everything just keeps getting brought up. I'm like, if there are some issues that you could be having with someone, like talk to them. You know, don't just like throw subs and shit like in videos and stuff like that. Like, we're way too grown for that. Like, come on. You know, how old is this beef? How are people still beefing to this day? I don't understand. Like, there's so many more.
This shit's been dead,
there's
bro.
So many.
This shit's been dead,
and people are obviously still having issues. Okay, now let's get into that a little bit. So, all right. So the Kinder was a big group, 20 plus people. And granted, everyone didn't get along. Everyone didn't like Ivan said before, talk to each other. So we all had they all had like subgroups or whatever, which is fine. Everybody has their little cliques within the big clique. You know, people just have, personalities just magnetized, and you like more people more than other people. That's fine. That's a-okay, right? But then it's gotten to a point where then like these little like subgroups became like this toxic cesspool of just I don't know, it's just negativity, and like, you know, and so like whenever we would all get together, there was always something going on. There's always somebody not liking something that someone else said or someone else did, and no one really liked to. I would just say this: artists are by far the most sensitive and dramatic group of people on earth. You cannot argue with me on this one. You cannot, bro. You cannot. Artists are so over dramatic, it's ridiculous. Like a lot of the stuff that like people were having like problems with, like problems over, were like not big issues. They were not. I'm not saying all of them wasn't, but most of them was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, dude. I
also want to add, like, it's not like we're putting ourselves on a pedestal because obviously we got caught up in the drama as well. I'm not trying to say,
most definitely.
But in that sense, I want to say at least like on our end, nobody likes drama, nobody likes tea, whatever. We weren't involved because we thought it was like interesting. We just want to know what was going on. A lot of the time, so as we mentioned before, the kindergarten server was kind of created as like supposed to be a friend group, supposed to be a group chat, supposed to be like a safe space, quote unquote, for everybody to just relax and chill, be themselves, draw, go on calls and work, right? You know, as you would with friends. But you know, there was a lot of infighting and drama because of like different what's the word? Just very unprofessionalism. I want to say it was like. Yeah. People would have beef, right? I guess to be very vague about the situations, people would have beef and then kind of like rope other people into it. And then you'd have like this weird echo chamber of just hearing all these horrible things and then not really considering whether they're true or not, because in the moment you're just like, wow, this is so upsetting. I thought I knew this person. I guess I didn't. You know what I mean?
There was no like you never saw things from the other side. You kind of just whatever you heard first, that's what you was going with.
That's what, and in my mind at least, I'm sure you could relate, Darren. When you hear things like that about someone you thought was a friend or someone you thought you knew, your initial thing is like, well, why would this person lie? Because now you have two different friends telling you one thing, hearing another thing, and it's like, well, why would someone you find to be very close with lie to you? So of course you'll believe them. Of course you'll take what they say at face value and just totally like believe them.
And that was definitely our fault for sure. Like we didn't really because again, like just like I haven't explained, we just didn't really see the point to like anyone lying, right? We were just like, yeah, why would they lie?
Why would you lie about these horrible things, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So we were like, okay. Obviously, you know, that's fucked up. This is something like we kind of got to deal with this. Now this is a little bit more serious. We kind of got to deal with it. And we would go into things not hearing the other side, not knowing the other party or the other side of the story. And then you know, things just...
And it's wild because you could argue that we jumped to conclusions, which is fair. I'll take that point. But also, after we jumped to those conclusions... I remember like months later, we ended up finding out that those conclusions were absolutely right, and we were completely justified in how we handled it. So now I'm just like, again, I'm being extremely vague, but all I'm saying is there was an issue, and then we had to remove someone, and then after they were removed, we were like, oh shit, what did we do? Because then everyone was saying, well, no, that didn't happen at all. But then later down the line, we find out like more shit, like other things happened that would have justified the removal. Because again, going back to it, right? Kinder was supposed to be a group chat of friends. It was supposed to be like this place where people can feel comfortable. And of course, if someone's making you feel uncomfortable, and especially if it's someone that personally we weren't close to, like me and Darren weren't too close to this person, like, all right, well, to give you peace of mind for your mental health, why not? We'll just remove them. It's easy, and then we'll just tell them like, hey man, it's like we gotta take you out because it's like it's making problems for this person who's already going through a lot. We're trying to help out, right? So that again, to be very vague, a lot of it. I feel like I keep saying it, but like it's just a lot of just this nonsense of just unnecessary beef that could have been solved with, I guess, talking, and that was ultimately Kinder's downfall. Is nobody really wanted to talk about what issues they had, and it kind of just festered into these echo chambers of misinformation and
so then it had gotten to the point where people it had gotten to the point where people just didn't feel like comfortable in the
like period
in the group anymore.
Yeah,
because there was just so much going on that people were just like it was just weird energy and shit. It's like
none of this was necessary. Again, this was all just clashing personalities from, and mind you, it's just funny to see because I feel like Darren, you're super low key. Right, you were super low key during that time because I want to say it was because of your internet or something. Your situation didn't allow you to be connected to Discord 100% of the time. And then I was just busy. I was working 4 or 5 days a week, 13-hour shifts. I had no idea what the fuck was going on there. I had to hear it from other people. So again, I had no interpretation or understanding of what was going on. I was just going off by whatever everyone else was telling me, like, oh, this
whenever
happened.
we weren't busy doing our own stuff, we hop in the chat and then something happened.
Like something bad,
whoa.
I'll wake up.
What happened? Like,
I'll wake up and check my phone and there's like 50 notifications and shit. I'm like, what's going on? There's this huge like arguments going down or grievances calls and stuff. So
it's ironic too, because I'm like, if I make this group with people around my age, right? Like I'm trying to avoid people like around 12, 13, 14 who are like more inclined to be in those type of situations. Like, okay, these are adults, like basically adults who are in this group. Like things should just be held down a lot better. No, it was like literally high school, but with people who are just took way too long to graduate. That's literally what it was. Like everyone was just super seniors in that motherfucker, man.
I had a theory, like where it's like, so it goes back to the whole artist thing, right? I feel like artists by nature, more often than not, they're very recluse, not super social, right? But then when you put them in an environment where they can make a lot of new friends or they could talk to a lot of people, especially people with higher sub counts, and you see opportunity to grow and network, like you're gonna act a certain way. You're gonna, you know what I mean? So I think that's why. I think that's why there was a lot of conflict too. Is some people didn't agree with that. Other people saw it as very disingenuous.
Because it was very opportunistic, and this is supposed to be a group of friends who can just kind of just like unwind and just kind of be themselves and do whatever they want. But it just, in some cases, it just kind of turned into like people just saw this as an opportunity to kind of get their thing going on and get their thing going. Regardless of how people may have felt about it, and that also definitely contributed to people just not getting along.
That goes back to why Kinder is dead. The group, at least, is dead because a lot of people had different ideas of what it should be. Some people wanted to take it further. I know there's a lot of comparisons to the fucking the fucking animation squad, wherever that shit was. A lot of comparisons to that. I wonder how that's going. And people were like, oh, like we could do this too. And then there was other people didn't want it to be like that. People just wanted to stay like a group chat. Nobody wanted to see it go any further than what it was. And I think that that added conflict of like there's different ideals for what this should be really tore it apart. And it just added to the conflict, and it just was like, it's just so unnecessary, man. Everything that happened in that fucking chat was so unnecessary, bro.
So unnecessary.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
And then the fact that there are still people it's like there are people still feeling salty about it. Like there are people who just still don't get along to this day.
I feel like we've moved on. Like the only reason we're bringing this back is one, I feel like as this channel, we just owe you guys an explanation. That's one. And two, it seems like Kinder still gets brought up every now and then, and it's like, well, here's the all-encompassing answer for everyone who still cares. I'm sure there's not a lot of you that actually care, but it's more, again, this is partially like a vent session just for us, so we could put it out there so you guys know what was going on.
Yeah, and sorry we're being like vague and shit and not like mentioning any names, but like you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not trying to start anything. If anything, we're trying to end this shit. Like,
this is
we're
all-encompassing
to rest.
Final statement. No more.
Exactly.
This is it. This is done.
I'm just letting everyone know and being vague about it to kind of just put this to rest, and everyone just go their separate ways or whatever. If you still have problems with someone else in the group or who used to be in the group or whatever, that's on you. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of just like trying to like mention Kinder in such in a way where it's like you're quite literally beating a dead horse. Like I just don't think that's cool. And if push comes to shove, like I have literally no problem like airing this shit out. Like I really do not. Like I don't. And if that means, if that will help put an end to this, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But like, come on, guys, we're all adults again. It shouldn't be to a point where like I say something to someone on a on a social media site, and then but like they're too scared to talk to me about it, so they talk to Ivan about everything. I'm like, bro, what the like? Yo. My DMs are open. You know what I'm saying? Like my DMs are open. Talk to me. What does Ivan have to do with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like a bunch of shit, and that's how I know. Like it's like this thing still has an impact on some people, because it's like, I don't know. It's like people just don't know how to like be people, like who do.
I would also just like to add. Again, this isn't us like coming in defense of Kinder, because we're like, this is dead. Like we're gone. We're done.
Yeah.
We've moved on. This is more just for us to just clarify and just finally put the last nail in the coffin and make sure it's by us. We are killing it right here and now. This is done. It's dead. No more.
Yeah, this
but we'll leave the channel up for you guys to listen to this fucking grand finale anyway.
Also, wait. Also, I would like to add, there maybe be like times where like I possibly would upload like a vlog or something. Maybe. I'm not sure yet, but I do have some stuff in a way. I don't know if I'm put up on here. I'm just saying that just so you know, if it happens and anyone says something like, "Oh, I thought you wasn't going blah blah blah," then you'll know. Like I'm just prefacing that there. Yeah.
What's the finale for the podcast? There's I guarantee you there's no more. There's no more podcasts.
Yeah.
This is it. But everything else is fair game.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna add? Oh, just in terms of like the pandemic and just being inside all the time, it really got me to like think about how this whole thing went down. You know what I mean? And I'm like, again, like I get why people would be very upset with what happened and not have the most fondest memories of that time period, which I completely understand, completely valid. But also like
people just don't have closure. I guess I think that's what it is too. Because I think it kind of because me personally, I don't have any direct like beef with anyone in particular, but I know there are people who do have beef with other people and stuff like that, and or just emotions and just feelings in general that came from that chat that didn't really and because we didn't really end on good terms, I can understand why people might feel a way about it, but still like there's definitely ways to go about it. That's what I think. Like again, you can just talk to them. It's like what do you lose from this, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like at the very least, at least I like try to put some effort into like trying to nip this in the bud, you know?
Yeah, just so there's no lingering feelings too. And
yeah.
you know, but I guess it's good for you guys because that means you get another podcast that you didn't ask for. Yo.
Yeah.
So that's I want to say that's it. We could go into other things too. Like I mean, personally from my experience, same shit. Like I've just been like reflecting on that time. Again, I didn't have to. We don't have to put this in podcast form, but I just feel like, you know, we should do this. And
okay.
y'all, I can hear people like in the comments and shit like, yo, if you wanted it to stay dead, why are you uploading it? Why are you bringing it back? I'm like, I literally explained it 5 times.
Listen. It's because people don't want it to stay dead. Apparently,
this
right?
shit's been dead to me since 2017. This shit has been dead to me, but it will continue to linger. You know, so I want to kill it. I'm killing it right now. But
that thumbnail better slap.
Bro, it's just I'm telling you, it's just gonna be all of us, but there's red X's on everybody's faces but ours.
That's funny.
But yeah, I've been reflecting on that time period. I'm like, I mean, like I have very great memories of those people and everybody I interacted with, but also Not the greatest memories. And I'm sure everyone else can also relate
true.
who was a part of that whole project or group or whatever you want to call it at this point. And I guess this is our way of just finally being done with it and never speaking about it ever again, for the most part. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Unless, you know, there are people who want to like to take this to another level. You know what I'm saying? Then
fair.
by then, you know, things gotta happen. But like other than that, let's just hope that nothing crazy comes from this. Let this just be the last nail in the coffin, you know.
Yeah. And also shout outs.
Podcast title.
Oh, for sure. Let's just call it the last nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin, yeah.
But shout outs to you if you've been a long time subscriber, long time follower of us, this channel, or any other channels that were affiliated with this channel at the time. You're great. You're a real one. That's what? How many years in the making? It's 2021. That means you must have been subbed since what, 2017? What is that? What's math? 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. That's 4 years, dude. What the hell?
That's a lot.
Who are you, man?
If you have no idea where any of us went, we have our own respective channels. I am uploading often for the first time.
Oh, peep out YouTube
career.
Yeah.
Check out Ivan Animated. He should have a video coming out soon. Check out Recreio, which we're both involved in. And yeah, that's where we're at. We're still working. We're still, you know, doing cool shit. We're just doing it somewhere else. That's all. That's basically it.
There you go. Stay tuned for the vlogs.
Stay tuned for the vlogs. Maybe, most likely, but maybe, still maybe. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
Fucking rant. This fucking this fucking bridge burner. This fucking.
And you know, for clarity's sake, I did have cinnamon toast crunch this morning, and it was pretty good. And then, but then I went on Twitter, and apparently, like, there's like a
shrimp tails, bro.
Scandal. Yeah, no, it's even worse. It's like rat poop and shit. Like,
all right,
baked into the fucking.
What?
It's a whole other thing. Now that's interesting. Now that's an interesting breakfast story. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
all right, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed either way. And I hope this answered some questions that you guys may or may not have had. And yeah.
Yo, if you listen to the whole podcast, comment down below. Happy birthday, Mads. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Later. You bear.